All right, I want to bring in political analyst Peter Mathews. He's a professor of political science at Cypress College. Let's get one thing out of the way, Peter. The FBI's findings, in the end, may not support a definitive conclusion one way or another.
That's right, because all they can do is issue a report. That's it. They cannot call for guilt or innocence, and therefore it's not as good as if they had been subpoenaed, issued through the court, the committee itself. If the Judiciary Committee had subpoenaed the witnesses and then would be under oath, it would be much stronger investigation, which I don't think President Trump really wants.
But, Peter, I'm not even referring to the fact that the FBI doesn't draw the conclusions from their investigation. We know that. The senators will draw the conclusions. I'm referring to the fact maybe the FBI doesn't really provide the senators with information that convincingly sways them one way or another.
No, that's very possible. If you're only giving the FBI 1 week to do this, I question why there was a 1 week limit put on it and why the investigation didn't occur before Dr. Ford had to witness and testify. There should have been no limit, an extensive FBI investigation called for by President Trump, just as President George H.W. Bush did in the case of Clarence Thomas, and Trump didn't do that. Instead, he's trying to control the investigation right now by his White House. The White House counsel sent in a list of witnesses, apparently, for the FBI to interview and to limit that the interviews to that list. So that's much of an interference from the White House, in my view.
Yeah, you mentioned a list of witnesses. One of the priorities in this investigation, I would assume, is going to be talking to Mark Judge, the friend of Brett Kavanaugh, whom Dr. Ford puts in the room at the moment of the alleged assault.
Yes, absolutely, very important, extremely important person to be interviewed. But if Mark Judge had been brought subpoenaed in front of the committee, he would have been under oath. In this case, he is not, although it is illegal for him to lie to the FBI, he's still not on a formal under oath. And this is a problem in the modus operandi of the particular investigation here. And it won't be as strong as if we had gone with the FBI ahead of time, had subpoenas issued, and a complete comprehensive investigation took place, especially with Mark Judge being placed in the room by Dr. Ford. That's a key witness right there.
Donald Trump and other Republicans, as well as media supportive of the president, accuse Democrats of manipulating all of this in order to derail Kavanaugh's nomination. Do you see a political manipulation here?
No, I do not. And that's an affront to the integrity of women in general, and Dr. Ford in particular, and possibly even Mr. Ramirez, to challenge women's claims as unwarranted, and for President Trump to come out and say that if this was serious, that this would have come, that Dr. Ford's parents or her would have reported this when she was 15 years old. That is one of the things that is completely egregious against women when men challenge them that way and say, you know, you're not serious because you didn't come open with it, the claim early on when it happened. And yet we know that when studies have been done, that most women who are assaulted like this sexually are very loath to come forward. They're already shaken up to begin with, emotionally, psychologically, and physically. And how can they come forward right away? It takes months, if not years, for them to even consider doing this. And you can see Dr. Ford didn't really want to even come forward. She originally wanted to be anonymous. So I don't think the president's being very honest or straightforward about this. And there'll be a big reaction in the polls in November. I think there will be on the part of women voters when it comes to the Republican Congress and the Republican Senate, for example.
All right, Peter Mathews, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.